Hey, I was thinking about you, and it occurred to me that I've not actually introduced you to who CORE is. CORE Inclusive Consulting, yeah, this page, and me, Christopher Thompson, or as we call me, Coach Chris. CORE is the essence for how I think about leadership and how I function in my day-to-day. So let me give you an essence or a sense for, like, what's the genealogy of CORE? Like, how did it start? Well, in 2009, I, the athlete, Chris, was playing football with some friends of mine. It was the Ohio State-Michigan weekend. And of course, my team was representing Ohio State. There was this other team that lost, by the way, representing the team up north. And it was towards the end of the game. I go up for a pass and I catch the ball. But after I caught this ball, there was this pop. That pop wasn't good. It was my left Achilles tendon. When I tell you it was not a good thing. I distinctly remember being carried off by my brother, went to the house, told my wife, hey, can't move my foot. We went to the ER, and while sitting in the ER, the doctor was looking at me and he had me put my foot up and he was like, do like this with your foot. And in my head, I'm going like this. And he yells at me. He was like, do this. I said, I am. He was like, oh, it's not connected. You need surgery. Torn completely. No movement. Went through surgery the next week and then had to go through a grueling 12 months worth of PT. When I tell you, not my favorite. Never wanted to do it again. Went through PT. Wasn't fully paying attention to all the things that were going on through that PT, but did it. Kuna Matata, right? No worries. Then in 2011, I'm playing basketball with my boys. I should share this with you because this is probably her fault. But right before we were playing the game, my wife looks at our sons and says, don't break him. Literally, that's what she said. We laughed it off. We're halfway through the game, good intensity. I'm going in for a layup, pop. And I yelled at my son, dang, Chris. It's his name too, because I thought he kicked me. This time was a little different. I was able to walk into the house, and what I got to tell you is that my boys was like, we didn't do it. They didn't go in the house. I did. Went in the house, sat on the couch. Something wasn't right. Went to the doctor, and the doctor said, Chris, you've ruptured your Achilles tendon. This one was a little different because I could still move my foot a bit. This one was ruptured, but it still required surgery. It was in the winter time too. Almost lost my marriage that time, y'all. But nonetheless, so go back through. I already know what this process is because I've gone through it once again. Never wanted to go through it the first time, especially going through it the second time. And here's what happened. I paid attention to what the PT was doing with me. And I ended up asking some questions this time because I got real curious about why he was having me do planks. I was doing a ton of core work. And here's what he said to me. And this has become a leadership philosophy and how I have focused my business, my practice, and how I've led since 2011. He said, Christopher, no matter how much your brain tells your foot to move, if it's not connected, it's not going to work. And he said, no matter how well the surgeon ties your Achilles back together, even if it's stronger than when you were born, if your core isn't strong, you'll tear it again. When I tell you those words have been what I have lived by from a leadership perspective for years, and this company, this coaching brand, me, believes that there is something real and special about your ability to lead through and with your core. At any organization I've ever been in, I've found that there are great strategies that people have put together, but oftentimes it doesn't connect to the people. And I have worked with some amazing, incredible, top leaders in the world, but I found that if they didn't align to the strategy, didn't understand the strategy, couldn't see it because they were too far away from how their specific work aligned and connected to the strategy. It didn't work. And what I have found is the stories of my Achilles tendon healing process, my physical therapy, how I got to a place where I could still walk again. I had to spend time strengthening my core. And what I do with core is I think about who are the people in the middle? Who are the folks that hold it all together? Who are most specifically those individuals who I think the current vernacular are the culture carriers? The people who lead with their values, who lead with humanity, who prioritize their people, recognizing that your strategy could be amazing and your people could be great. But if those two things don't align, your mission, your values, and your purpose in the organization will be limited. It doesn't mean that you won't have success, but the sustainable success needed, especially for tomorrow, you got to have a strong core. So that's the origin story of how core even came to life. And when I think about my day-to-day, when I think about how I coach, when I think about the people that are most important in every organization, it can't just be the CEO, the one who makes all decisions. And it can't just be the hands in the field who are making sure that the customer who is being served by the things that your strategy asks you to do. If you don't have a strong core, the place can't sustain, and you'll turn your people over. You'll have retention issues. You'll have folks who have in your environment issues with your culture. So if you want help building your core, if you want help strengthening who are the people who are making the place function, run, give me a call. I do coaching, group and individual. I love public speaking and facilitation, but more specifically and more importantly, if you want your core to be stronger, especially in an uncertain time and in an uncertain future, you can help create stabilization through some of the work I do with you. So I look forward to an opportunity to share core with you and to help you build yours.